Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy Aarogya. My name is Nicky Sinha. I'm an educator with Unacademy. As a psychology teacher, I really want to talk to you about something really important. That is teenage depression. Yes, that's the topic for today's discussion. That's the topic for today's video. Now, I know a lot of you will say कि मैम क्यों हम depression के ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं? Why is it so important? Nowadays, everyone is depressed. हर किसी को कुछ ना कुछ problem है. What is the use? Why are we even talking about it? I know, I completely agree with your viewpoint that nowadays depression has become a hashtag. आजकल depression एक hashtag बन गया है, right? People do not get their favorite pizzas and they're depressed. They have their exams and they're anxious. So yes, that is true. I completely agree. But that's the problem. Since it has become a hashtag, we really need to be informed about it. We really need to have good information regarding depression, because if we don't, we will not be able to help people who are actually suffering from this. जिनको actually problem है, हम उनकी मदद नहीं कर पाएंगे. So whatever be the viewpoint, let us all be informed so that we can actually help people who are actually suffering from something like this, right? So now you would ask me, ma'am, why teenage depression? Why are we even talking about it? Teenage is such a beautiful time. You have friends, you have school, you're doing well academically, आप sports में होते हो. Everything seems hunky-dory, right? But that's not the case with everyone. Understand that teenage is also a very difficult time. It is filled with challenges. Your body is growing, your emotions are growing. There's certain things which happen in your body which you might not be able to understand. जो आप बिल्कुल नहीं समझ सकते हो, जो आप comprehend नहीं कर सकते हो. There are a lot of feelings that are generated in your body which you might not be able to understand. So that is why teenage is not just a period of lots of happiness, of lots of friends, of a lot of chilling. It is also a period of a lot of challenges. There's peer pressure, there's school pressure, there's anxiety, there's identity crisis, there's parents putting on a lot of pressure, there's restrictions, particularly for girls, a lot of restrictions. Your body goes through a lot of changes. Now, most of these changes are very difficult to comprehend for a teenager, and hence teenagers are very much prone to depression. So we have to understand, we have to look into the symptoms that are there in teenage depression so that we are at least able to identify if a child is suffering from depression, if a child is suffering from teenage depression. So let us first take a look at the symptoms that are there. First of all, you will notice that your child is sad all the time. They become hostile, they're very violent. There's changes in their eating and their drinking habits. Also, the child might suffer from eating disorders like anorexia nervosa and binge and purge, which again adds a lot to the pressure that they're facing. They also have a certain body image that they want to achieve, which puts a lot of pressure on their mind, on their emotional status, which again leads to depression. Apart from this, you will notice change in their eating and sleeping habits. You will notice that they have difficulty in concentrating. You will notice that they have stopped taking interest in those things which literally interested them a lot. They've become hostile. They move away from their parents. They move away from their friends. They basically move away from, they try to अपने आप को एक शेल में बंद करने की कोशिश करते हैं. That's what they do. These are the symptoms which you can look out for. If you see a person with such symptoms, then yes, the person might be depressed. Now, there's certain coping mechanism. There's also another thing which you can look at. Apart from these symptoms might seem very common, right? So apart from these symptoms, you can also take a look at certain coping mechanism which your teenager will use along with these symptoms. And if those coping mechanisms are being used along with these symptoms, then you can definitely conclude that yes, the child is definitely suffering from teenage depression or depression in general sense of the word. So let us look at some coping mechanisms which they have. So there will be drug and there will be alcohol abuse. They will start running away from their friends, from their family, from their emotions from everyone. First of all, that they would be continuously addicted to their smartphones. They would enjoy the virtual world more than the real world. They would move away from everything that has interested them at any point in life. They would be really low on self-esteem. So if they were doing academically really well, if they were good in sports, you will see that the self-esteem really comes down in these particular areas in which they were doing really well earlier. They will become violent, they will have a reckless behavior, they'll also become very emotional. Now, these are all the symptoms and the coping mechanism which I have told you, but my discussion is incomplete unless and until I tell you how you can deal with this. आप इससे डील कैसे कर सकते हो? As a parent, as a sister, as a teacher, as a friend, I think everyone should know how to deal with such things. First of all, communication is really important. Please encourage them to talk as much as possible. Be persistent, but do not force them into talking. They will again close themselves in the shell. They will not talk to you. So talking is really important. Communication is really important. Acknowledging their feelings is also very important. Do not shun their feelings. Do not make them feel ridiculed. उनको आप ये मत बोलिए कि अरे तुमको तो कुछ भी फील होता रहता है, ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. No. Their feeling is not, therefore their feeling is really important for them. It's not nothing for them. What they're feeling is really important. वो कहते हैं ना हर किसी के लिए उसकी प्रॉब्लम बड़ी होती है. For them also the issues are big. So please do not shun them, because if you do, they will never come out of their shell. They will never share anything with you. All those negative emotions will keep bottling up, and it will really lead to disastrous situations. Because these children also have suicidal thoughts. So they might also engage in self-harm. So talking is really important. Make sure that there's not social intermingling. Make sure your child goes to their friend's house. आप उनके दोस्तों को घर बुला लीजिए. Throw a little get together for them. Throw a little party for them. Do something like that. So social intermingling is very important. Make sure that they have a good diet. Make sure they sleep. Sleeping should be encouraged because this really calms your nerves down. आपको बहुत आराम मिलेगा. Nerve calm हो जाता है. And because of that constant negative emotion that you're facing, you really need to sleep, because then your body, your mind will not think of those things. Your body will also relax, right? So sleeping is very important. Having a good diet is very important. Get involved in their lives. Try to know what they're doing. Try to know what their life, what is happening in their life. Do not intrude in their lives, but become such a part of their life that they want to share things with you. So you should become a friend or a parent or a sister or a cousin or whoever in whom they're able to confide. So these are the ways in which you can actually deal with a person or a child who's suffering from depression. Remember, an adult dealing with depression is very different from a teenager dealing with depression. So you have to be really patient. You have to be really good. You have to be really calm, actually, if you really want to deal with teenagers. Teenagers अपने आप में ही इतने energetic होते हैं. Imagine dealing with a teenager who's suffering from depression. So we have to be really careful. So these are some of the symptoms. I've already talked to you about the symptoms. I've talked to you about the coping mechanism which the children use along with the symptoms, and what you can do to heal the person. But ultimately, I will tell you that please, if you think that it is getting out of hand and if you're not able to solve it, please do not shy away from visiting a psychiatrist or a psychologist. It is very important. Do not take things in your hand, because जितना आप फायदा करोगे शायद उससे ज़्यादा नुकसान हो जाए. Let's not do that. So this was all about teenage depression. I really wanted to discuss this topic with you all. So I hope, I won't say you enjoyed this video, but I hope this was informative. I hope that you got to learn something. I really hope that you will be able to help your friends around you. So this was all about teenage depression. And before I end this video, I would really love to tell you about all the interesting features there on Unacademy. You know what? Teenage depression का एक बहुत major source क्या होता है? पढ़ाई. जब आप पढ़ाई को लेके बहुत टेंशन में होते हो ना, तभी भी इंसान डिप्रेस होता है, right? And if you really want to save yourself from that kind of depression, I have a solution for you which is readily available for you from the comfort of your home. We have Unacademy subscriptions. So there are two kinds of subscriptions that we offer. We have a Plus and an Iconic subscription. In Plus, you get to study from top educators of India from the comfort of your home. There's exhaustive coverage of the syllabus, there's regular doubt clearing sessions, revision session, MCQs, test series, objective test series and whatnot. मैं बोलने में exhaust हो गई हूँ तो आप समझ लीजिए कि कितना exhaustive coverage होगा syllabus का. So that is there. Apart from that, we also have Iconic, in which you get a personal mentor. That mentor is responsible for solving your doubts. They're also connected to your parents. They will also be responsible. They're connected to your parents. They will also be giving you a weekly report, a study planner. They'll also be tracing your progress. And also, if you want to win your subscription, we have a feature called Ask a Doubt. You simply have to open your learning app. That's something really interesting which has happened. So what are we waiting for? Let's do that. वो हमें ज़रूर करना चाहिए. Why not? Let's do that. We also have launched a number of batches. We have a bridge batch for science, commerce and humanities. We have revision batches going on. We have MCQ batches going on. We have previous year's question batches going on. So आप देख सकते हो कि इतने batches में आपकी कितनी अच्छी preparation होगी. You would not really be scared about all of these things. आपको कोई depression नहीं छू पाएगा. That's my guarantee as an educator to you. Also, if you want to access the free content, you can use my code which is Aarogya-Nicky. You can see it up on your screens. आपको आपके screens पे मेरा code दिख रहा होगा. आप वो code use कर सकते हो. You can also take your subscriptions using that code. We were offering 10% off in the last month and we're still offering that. That offer is still valid for this month, for the month of March. You can use my code Aarogya-Nicky. वो code use करके आप free content access कर सकते हो, free special classes access कर सकते हो. At the same time, you can use my code to take your subscription. You will get your 10% off. And I don't think there's anything better right now than studying online and being away from all the chick of life. So I really want to see a lot of you in there. So I really hope that this video was useful to you. I really hope that I was able to help some of you. So thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you guys.